Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds, by nerds, hanging out with a bunch of nerds.
Nerdarchist Ryan.
I'm Nerdarchist Ted.
I'm Nathan Nerdarch.
And today we have another edition of GM 911 from Christian, Lita, and Lida, something. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name no matter what. He's having the problem with his players, and they just want to do whatever. They don't want to take any story hooks, interact with his NPCs, interact with his villains.
Murder hobos. They're
classic murder hobos.
He's created all of these different plot hooks, villains, stories that they can go on, and they are completely superseding what he's got as ideas. They're killing villagers, looting, plundering, terrorizing, and he doesn't really know what to do.
You know where you can get some other real quick tips is the Nerdarchy, the newsletter, which is down in the description below. You'll get GM tips, player tips. You can sign up to figure out how to game with Nerdarchy, and we'll get back to this.
We have several videos on dealing with this particular topic and different aspects of this particular
There was
topic.
the one where basically the players wanted to be bank robbers, which kind of sounds a little, which sounds a little bit like this.
There was another one that we did where the players didn't really want to leave the tavern. So it's like, we had talked about centralizing things,
adventures around the tavern.
And the group that wanted to be farmers instead of going, or
they wanted to start
mercantile empires instead of.
So we're going to end the video now and just put links to all that.
Well, no, you can actually. There's a search on our channel that you can type in the searches for all that stuff, and you'll easily be able to find the things that we talk about.
So for starters, part of this problem is an out of game situation. Talk to your players. This could have been handled in a session 0. Did you guys do that? Did the players all of a sudden make a change in what they wanted to do? But
I think Ryan had a fairly accurate description for this group.
So, there's a term that comes up in, the OSG. It's called, a chucklefuck gamer. A gamer that just, basically plays it to play, like Munchkin, the card game. They basically go to the table to do that.
They want to troll the DM, more or less.
Not even...
And the game.
You know what? Not even that. So, my old college roommate, Jared, and, his group of friends, when they would play D&D together, they never took it seriously. It literally was just a series of encounters with monsters that was it. It was the extent of it. They made characters that would acquire more treasure, kill the monster, take their stuff. It was basically D&D Munchkin, right? And, your group of gamers might just be that. And, maybe they don't want a story. Maybe that's literally they just want a kill fest.
But, at the same time, they're, avoiding the hooks that would lead to that. In preference of terrorizing the villagers.
Well, just make monsters show up because they don't want plot or narrative. So just to make monsters show up in the middle of town.
They're really just doing, Grand Theft Auto D&D.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want without
Grand Theft
consequences.
Carriage.
Now this is DM's new. He says I think this is the second session he ran some Horde of the
Dragon Queen. Yep.
Well, so a lot of times you're not willing to bring the big guns or have the SWAT team show up. But I mean, the type of things he's describing are what bandits and other people do that the normal adventurers show up to kill.
Right.
So, I mean, someone should show up to kill these guys that can do it.
So
because they would have heard, oh yeah, these people, they just run the town.
We even talked about it'd be funny, if the town hired a monsters
to guard their town,
protect them from the player characters.
I'll give you my 5 sheep ogre group if you just go kill this guy for me because he did something to my son or crippled my wife or whatever.
So out of game, I would talk to the players and find out what kind of game are they really looking for? Are they in line with what Ryan's talking about, where they not looking for a plot, a story? Do they want to just run around, kill stuff, and get treasure? Are they looking to just mess with your head? And if you guys can't come to mutual terms, then perhaps it's time to look for a different group. I mean, there's always groups looking for DMs. So if you're willing to DM,
the DM is the most sought after resource of the role playing community.
So if you've got a group that doesn't want to go with your style,
doesn't appreciate it,
you can find another group.
Yeah. It's like being a hot chick that can always find another boyfriend. You are the hot chick at the game table. Yeah.
So if it turns out that they're not really picking up on the hooks that you're putting down, and you're not directing the story enough so that they see these hooks, and they're like, oh well, I'm just going to go do this since the DM's not providing. So there could be a bit of a communication issue as well. If you come to terms that, all right, you've got a group, you've got the people willing to go with a story, that might solve your issue. If it doesn't, well,
yeah, you could actually just point out instances in the game where they went right instead of left and be like, well, why? Yeah. And ask them why.
Well, so here's the other thing too. Like, if they are never gonna get, you're at least maybe maybe they're younger and they're at the age where it's just like a giggle fest and like rolling and killing monsters. Like, you could use this as an opportunity to work on your combat chops, like developing encounters and like make interesting narrative combat like while they're killing it. So maybe all of a sudden, like, monsters teleport into town and, like, a fight's breaking out, and you at least make that fight as cool as you could possibly make it for the group.
What was the, it was a reality show-based, like, D&D game?
Yeah, it was...
Monster World or something?
Well, there was a thing for the D20 Modern, where it was almost like, think of, like, modern D&D, but, like, Running Man-esque. You know, where like it was like a reality show where like they were fighting against threats, so they got suckered into this thing. But like they could all get like the Willy Wonka golden ticket that actually gets them on this like Mad Mages show. Maybe
or you could literally run it as a modern game, but only give them access to like fantasy level stuff because it's part of the show. Yeah. You know, and they if that's all they want to do, like they get thrown in here, or maybe they're tried as criminals and that's their punishment.
Well, yeah, because that's
like
basically
a Dead Man Wonderland kind of thing where you're for other people's entertainment.
That's the exact plot of Running Man. Like, he was an ex-con. But, you could, with a magic world, they could still be in the medieval fantasy, and you could have, like, basically magical, like, projection screens that people go to watch this. You know, like, occurrence happen. Like...
Do the Ebron.
Yeah, basically. That level of technology. Hey, like, it's like...
They use illusions to project, what's going on.
Yeah, gladiatorial games. You have the people that are, like, are performed, like, iconic characters, like Pyro was or whatever from Running Man. Like, they had like their marquee characters.
Yeah, the hunters.
Yeah, the hunters.
Yeah, if you wanted to make it fun too, like for you as the DM to be like, all right, you guys have been being assholes, so I'm going to give you the game you want, and you have like the crier show up with the magic scroll, and it appears before the party.
Magical shackles appear on them,
and then reads off everything they've done, and like. And then announces the game and them as the next contestants or sends them to the game.
And then, like, they'll probably be all actually really into it. Like, it would be the funniest part about it. Like,
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or because it's the DM's plot, they're, like, totally against it. Staying on par with what they've been doing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for the most part, you can talk to them. Always, most of these problems can always be, at least, you can start with communicating. It's huge. This is a social game. We're not always going to agree on things, but at least if you open up the dialogue, maybe the players don't know there's a problem. Yeah, like they're like, hey, this is fine.
Yeah, they're having fun doing this.
We're playing in our sandbox.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what do you guys think? Do you have any suggestions or feedback to help this guy out? Put it in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
Check out the articles over at nerdarchy.com.
And you can hang out with us on Facebook.
You also find us over on Instagram.
So until next time, stay nerdy.